guys, it's Allison from the Young Entrepreneur video series, and we're here to interview Jen Cohen today. She is the president and co-founder of Something Creative, which is a marketing boutique that focuses on marketing strategies and social media. So here we go.
Hello.
So Jen, let's talk about how you started your business. Where did this idea kind of come about, and how did you really start?
Sure. Well, I've always been driven and I've always set goals for myself. I'm a goal setter and I'm a goal achiever. So, when I was younger, I said I wanted to go to college, I wanted to go to grad school, I wanted to study abroad, and I wanted to start my own business. So my thought was, what am I good at? What can I do? And how can I start my own business? When I was in grad school, I was going to school for PR, and I said I wanted to start a PR agency. While I was in grad school, I worked in marketing, and I really found that my niche was in marketing, and I worked in the corporate world for quite a bit and just decided that that wasn't really the way I wanted to go, and so I had the ability to go out on my own and start my own business.
That's very cool. Now, what piece of advice would you give college students? As you said, you did kind of notice that you wanted to start when you were in grad school or college, but how did you kind of get everything started? What three pieces of advice would you give?
I would say, work hard, come up with goals and figure out ways to achieve those goals, and work hard to get there. And always keep in mind that whatever you want to do, you can achieve if you have a plan. So plan the work the plan, and you can get to where you need to be.
Now, what skills do you think are needed to be a young entrepreneur? I know you said work hard and get a plan, but what other skills do you think that people need?
I definitely think motivation. And you need to have motivation that comes from within. So it's really important, the outside factors that you have in your life and that you have a good support system, but you can't get anywhere without being motivated from inside.
Right, okay, very cool. Now, have you had a lot of failures? I know I talk to a lot of young entrepreneurs and they're like, a few failures here and there, but did you have a lot of failures when you were starting your business, or is it more now with finding clients, or kind of what failures have you had, and then kind of how do you deal with them?
Sure. Well, I guess you have to come to an understanding that you're always going to make mistakes. No matter what, there's going to be a mistake that comes along, and there's going to be things that you can't deal with, things that you can deal with, and things that you can't prevent. So it's just a matter of, any of those mistakes that come by, you take them, you understand them, you figure out how to change it for the next time, and you just try not to make those mistakes again. But failures are inevitable, and it's something that you're going to come across. It's just going to make you a better person.
Yeah. Now, how many hours a day do you work?
I think that I'm always working, whether it's like watching TV and I see a really interesting commercial or a great, marketing campaign, then it's something that sticks in my head, and I might go to my computer or, go on my iPhone and type an email to a client and say, I really think that this is something that could work for you. So no matter what, reading magazines, surfing the internet, during any of those times, I think that I'm definitely still working in a sense and thinking about my clients.
Now, how does that affect your family life? How is that with your family and with friends? Are you still able to do a lot of stuff that you did in the past before you had your business, or?
I think there are certain things that you have to reprioritize. Family's always number one. Work is important, and my business is part of my life, but it's not my life.
Right.
So it's a matter of finding that work-life balance, and it is very difficult, and you kind of have to set aside certain times that you say, my business has to come first right now, but if something ever happened with my family, they're always number one, and I always make that very clear to my clients that my clients are important, family should be important, and it should be important to them. So,
yeah.
It's just, you have to weigh your options sometimes, but you can definitely find that balance, and once you find it, it's a real nice place to be.
Now, let's walk through like a typical day in your office. Now, I know you talk about clients. Do you go out and get the clients, or do they come to you? And then after you get them, kind of what's your next step from there? What's your business plan, kind of, or day to day?
Well, most of my clients have been through referrals and word of mouth. It's been really good to do some networking and to get to know people within the industry who kind of look at me as an expert within social media. So it's been really great to have good people that are referring me to others. And basically what we do is we set up a consultation. So I talk to the potential client and say, what do you need? How can we help you? And how can we add value? And if it comes down to the fact that we're not the best selection for them, then I'm very honest and say, we might not be your best choice. If we are the best choice, then we set a proposal and we walk through the proposal and decide what we're going to do in priorities and what's going to work within their budget.
Okay. Now, with the proposal, I know you're probably coming up with a lot of new ideas. How do you kind of keep your business fresh, and how do you generate these new ideas?
I think it's always important to be meeting new people with new perspectives. Definitely networking meetings are very important. Sometimes we'll hold some brainstorm meetings where I pull people from different industries. So for instance, if I'm meeting with someone that is a photographer and we're going to work on some sort of social media plan for them, then I'll pull a couple people from related industries such as a wedding planner, and we'll get together and we'll talk about different ways that this photographer could be helped through the marketing techniques.
Okay.
And it's just really good to gather those perspectives because I come from one place, but someone else comes from another place.
Right. So how did you go about getting the funding to start up your business? I know you said you did it when you were going for your master's, so how did you really?
Well, I was working, as I mentioned, I was working in the corporate world for a bit, and I was actually doing some freelancing on the side. So I basically took all of the freelancing money and kind of put that back into the business. And I waited until I got to a really good point that I was able to say, okay, I don't necessarily need that corporate paycheck every other week. And I'm able to do this on my own and had a decent client base. So I kind of looked at my pipeline and looked at my finances. And once I was able to roll with it, then that's kind of how I made the leap in the decision.
Now, I know you said you're out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Are you from there, or why did you choose that area to really have your business in?
Well, I was born and raised in South Jersey.
Okay.
My parents are both from Pennsylvania, and I always really liked the city. I went to school in Pennsylvania, and I went into Philadelphia often, and just met some really great people and saw that, you know, there were tons of opportunities in Philadelphia. So just to be close to my family, but to be in the center of the industry and to just open up a lot more doors, I figured Philadelphia was going to be the best place.
Okay. And what's your favorite aspect of being a business owner? What do you like about it the most?
I like the flexibility. I know that, you know, clients are always important, and if an emergency comes up, then I have to respond. But it's really great to be able to set my own schedule, set my own priorities, and have the ability to be creative and do something different every day.
That is very cool. And kind of going along with that, is that the most satisfying thing as well as? Or is it more of being your own boss, or what do you find most satisfying?
I think the most satisfying thing is watching the marketing plans and the marketing strategies that we have suggested and that we've put into place actually come to fruition. And it's really great to see, you know, the results that we thought were going to happen actually start to happen, and the client gets excited and they come back to us and they think like, oh wow, it really worked. And I think that that's the most satisfying part.
Okay. Now, in one word, characterize your life as a young entrepreneur.
I would say challenging. Every day is a challenge. There's, you know, different things that I keep learning, things that I am learning that I don't know, and things that I need to know. I have some really great mentors in my life, and I'm very thankful for them, and they've been helping me get through these challenges.
So Jen, how do you manage your finances between business finances and personal?
Well, I try to keep them separate. Right now, I'm looking into credit unions as an option for a car loan. I'm looking to purchase a new car for the reason that I'm looking for a more environmentally conscious car that gets a little bit of better gas mileage, being that I've been traveling a lot. So I'm definitely looking into the credit unions for their repayment plans, and I think it's going to be a really good option for me.
Great. Cool. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for coming. If you guys want more information, you can always check Jen out at somethingcreativemarketing.com.
And you can also find us on Twitter. Our handle is @SC Social Media, and our Facebook page is facebook.com/somethingcreativellc.
So thanks again, guys. We'll see you for the next Young Entrepreneur interview.